Hello and welcome. We're live. Facebook is on. Facebook just got on. Let's see. Working on Meerkat. Okay, whatever that is. All right. Don't have my Periscope going on tonight, but I thank you and I welcome you. Um, it's the 5th, but it's still Monday night in my mind. So, yes, it's still the 4th of July. And it is the first. What in the world? How my Meerkat just go off? All right. So, guess what, folks? Let me make sure this Meerkat is working. Oh, gotta turn the camera around. All right. So, look, we're finally back. It's the first stream of the third quarter because it's July 5th. We just entered the third quarter. So, we gotta get ready for fourth quarter living. We gotta push through the third quarter. So, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you tweet it and Facebook and Snapchat it, whatever you want to do, right? And also, you can watch the replays at middleclassmillionaire.pw. You click live hangout. So, thank you for joining. Thank you for pressing like. Thank you for sharing it with your friends and your teams because we're back to the Middle Class Millionaire Mindset Training. It's Monday night, but it's actually Tuesday morning. So what are we getting into today? I'm sure you probably saw the title and was like, what in the world is Mr. Aaron talking about? For those who don't know, I'm Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron. I'm one of the middle class millionaires. I am doing the trainings for today. And as I said, we're entering the third quarter into today's training as we talk about independence because of the 4th of July. Guess what? We talk about the overseer, the slave, and the master this week. So post Independence Day, what we're talking about? We're talking about overseer, slaves, and the masters, right? So what in the world do we know about those? What do we know about it? What do we know? What do we know? Let's see, folks. Let's see. What's this? July 4th? Let's see. When I Googled July 4th, what did it tell me about the 4th of July? What did it tell me about it when I Google it? It's going to tell me a whole bunch of things about the independence of the United States. The 4th of July is a federal holiday, talking about the Declaration of Independence in 1776 by the Continental Congress, declaring the 13 American colonies regard themselves as a new nation. Because the United States of America didn't own everything in the United States. They, in fact, went and bought it all. They took it, or they took the rest of it. But a lot of French settlement, Spanish settlement was all here. And the 13 colonies declared themselves an independent nation. Independence for who? Right? Well, that's another story. So the third quarter, we get into how we're going to start the third quarter off on this. Overseer, slave, and master. Talking about the third quarter, talking about a business mindset. I'm going to apply these to business mindset because guess what? You might not recognize it, but you are part of it too, right? So when you look at it, here it goes, right? So Mondays we define the three letters, which is our A, B, and our C. Our three words become our A, B, and C, and then we break it down on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Friday, one, two, three for each one of those. And on Wednesday, we have our study hall. You know what we're studying. I told you we're going to stay in chapter 5 one more week. We're going to stay in chapter 5 one more week for Eric Warrior's GoPro book, The 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. We're not moving on to skill 3 yet because skill 2 is so involved. I mean, that's where I'm at with my hurdle is skill 2 because a lot of people in network marketing, a lot of people in all other kinds of marketing, and people in general when they market themselves, because you, my friend, are a business. So when you're marketing yourself, guess what? Skill number 2 is important. How you're inviting your prospects to understand your product or opportunity, how you talking to your boss and to get a raise because you are a perfect opportunity. you feel like your job can't function without you. So guess what? Are you talking to them right? Are you using skill 2? Are you using skill 2? Skill 1 was about making friends, right? But skill 2, you gotta have them understand your product, even if the product is you. So skill 2 is so important. That's why we're going back to skill 2. But we start in the third quarter off. Yeah, that was my book list going on. Man, I keep on collecting more books to read. I'm trying to read at least 5 pages out of each one of the books. I don't know if people want to see what the books were. Understanding the Waldorf education. My daughter going to a private school. It does Waldorf education, kind of like Montessori school. I need to find out about it. Got my Sunday school book. I'm teaching Sunday school at the church. I have Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed with Dr. Breakthrough, Stan Harris here. I got to read 5 pages in that. Didn't do it the last couple of days. I have Black Labor, White Wealth with Dr. Claude Anderson. That's a very good book. The Circle of Profit with Onyx Sigal. He's local to me. I could probably drive to his office to find out what's up with him. I got this as a church, as a gift from church. Trying to get some devotional time going on because I can't be reading all this stuff and doing all this studying about business and not make time for the Lord. And then, of course, our study hall book, GoPro with Eric Warren. As I said, this is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, helping you with the business mindset and helping myself. You just get to see what my mind is thinking about, right? So you're able to comment, you're able to share, you're able to do all the other good stuff, but you're really seeing what my process is. It's 1:23 in the morning where I'm at, and yet I'm working on my mind for the week. Happy that it's Monday night, happy that it's Tuesday morning, whatever you want to call it. And as we talked about Independence Day, it came to me, why not do a business mindset training on overseer, slave, and master? I know it sounds harsh for the people of my nationality, people of my race, but I can't help it. I'm black. My ancestors was enslaved, and I feel like that. Hey, we still enslaved mentally in other ways. So, overseer. Let's get into it. Overseer, a person who supervises others. If you're not the supervisor, if you're not the boss at the place of your work, you're being overseen. So your supervisor, your low level boss, yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that on Tuesday, on tomorrow. If you are being supervised, even if you might supervise other people, if you're being supervised, guess what? You're a low. If you're being supervised, that person is your overseer. That's the person who watches over you. That's the person who do the checks and balances to make sure you're doing your job. So therefore, that is the overseer. That's the definition of overseer. I'm gonna keep it quick tonight because it's already late. I gotta wake up early, take my son to school. So guess what? The next definition we come into is slave. Slave was where most people fall. It's the category that is overpopulated. Slave is the category that's overpopulated. It is a noun and is a verb. So we have two definitions for you that we're going to get into on Thursday. But I'm going to give you the definitions now and how we break that down into our business mindset with the 1, 2, 3 about the slave. Guess what? You need to first know the definition. What's the definition of slave? A person who is forced to obey another. They also called it legal property of another person. But in the case of business, in the case of how you handle your business, if you're working a job, if you have a boss, if you have someone that you report to, you are the slave. You might have to manage some people and you are overseer and you're also the slave because a person who is forced to obey another. You got deadlines at your job, you slave. So, uh, also, slave is a verb, which is working excessively hard. You're a hard worker. You're the worker. You're being overworked. You're a slave. Even if you're the overseer, and I'm going to get into that overseer on tomorrow. I'm going to give you a little preview about tomorrow. The overseer, guess what? He's helping someone else reach their dream. He's helping the master do his thing. He's not helping himself, he's helping the master. He's helping the master do what? He's helping the master put forth his vision and goals, just like the slave, because he has to report to the master as the overseer. But like I said, I'm getting into that tomorrow. But the slave is a person who is forced to obey another. There used to be legal property slaves, but now people are slaving. They start to enjoy their being enslaved, and that's a good trick from the master. And you also have slave the verb, which is work excessively hard, as in you were slaving at your 9 to 5. Okay? And last but not least, guess what? The master, look how slick the master is. The master, when you talk about business mindset, the if you are a master in the business mindset, you get three definitions. Three definitions about who you are. If you're the master at this mindset, you are first the noun, right? You get a noun, a master, the person who has people working for him. That means the master don't answer to nobody, right? The master business mindset, you're not answering to no one. You are the master and you have people working for you. So, and I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of that master. Just give you a little preview about the master on Friday. You should not desire to be a master or a slave. You need to be an independent, right? But a person who has other people working for him to helping them reach his goals, you are a master. The noun. If you are adjective, someone you are someone having or showing a great skill or proficiency in something, right? So if someone said, "Oh, he's the master," like on if you I don't know if you've seen The Last Dragon, but they call who's the master? Show enough, right? Show enough wasn't the master. Leroy was the master, and guess what? They had to show it was like, oh, he's a master craftsman. A master craftsman is what? They good at whatever building stuff is. A master plumber is good at plumbing. So you put the master there as an adjective to describe that they have it because they shown it, right? And then you master as a verb. When you're mastering information, that's what I'm trying to work on for myself. I'm hoping this helping other people work on it too, that we're trying to master the information, condense it and chunk it as quickly as possible so we can disperse it to the masses. So when we talk about the business mindset, we want to acquire knowledge or skill in the area of business in order to help someone else get out of that slave mentality, get out of that overseer mentality, and eventually uh, get out of the master mentality, because you don't want to be someone's master because they dependent and looking up to you. It should be happening as a mutual thing. We talk about reciprocation. I bring the free information, you press like. I bring free information, you press share. Sharing is caring. That's what we hear all the time. Sharing is caring. And guess what? If you care, you share. You don't have to buy anything from me. You don't have to join my team or any of that stuff. You watch it, you share it with someone else, the message get out. We're talking about freeing people mentally so they could go excel as individuals, not to work for somebody on somebody's behalf, not to watch the people to watch, not to be the person who watches the people who working for the person who's watching them. You don't want to be those people. We're talking about independent, and we're gonna talk about all that stuff. Monday, we talking about all that stuff. Tuesday, we're gonna go into overseer. Wednesday, we doing our study hall, chapter 5 once again. Uh, Thursday, we going into 1, 2, 3 business mindset, how to help that business mindset and master. And then enslave with slave, and then Friday we wrap it up with master. Welcome to the third quarter, folks. You better get ready. We're preparing for fourth quarter living. So I hope this third quarter about independence and about those things that are in place to stopping your independence. We're talking about getting independence like they did, in what year was that? What year was that? 1776, 4th of July, Independence Day. This is where you need to be putting it in. We're trying to get to the fourth quarter and we're trying to set up our independence for every time after that. We're trying to come out with the win in this year, 2016. It's not too late. Because if you can't just win first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You got to win the fourth quarter. Long as your score is higher at the end of the fourth quarter than it was first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, then you win. If you're behind, if you are behind, it's time to do what? It's time to catch up and win. If you are ahead, it's time to blow them out. We got to win by double digits, by any means necessary. We're fighting for our independence around here in our businesses. So this is Mr. Aaron from the House of Aaron, encourage you to be smart, be confident, be smart, be fruitful, and multiply. That when you start, you don't stop until you achieve your goals. Good night. Good morning. I'll see you later on today for the next call. Thank you. Have a blessed day.